Looks like I'm live. Yep, got the live symbol there. Looks like I'm all good to go. Yep. I don't think I have anybody watching. Doesn't really matter. I don't expect a whole lot of people to watch. If you do watch, I really appreciate it. So, if you're watching this in like a VOD, because I don't know if I'm gonna upload it as a video later. I'll figure that out when I get there. This is basically going to be a basically just going to be a random live stream. I'll interact with the chat a lot. I'll answer any questions you guys have. All while reassembling my Atlantic locomotive again. If you're not aware, it took a dive off the table this past weekend at the Greenberg Lebanon show. I believe I had a clip in there that showed it was just absolutely destroyed after taking a dive off the table. So, you know, what can you do? But I'll just be rebuilding it during this live stream. It looks like 5 people watching now. Troublemaker 12, hello. Boko, hello as well. Gihili, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know how to say the name. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I need to just now. Sorry, I know it's a little late. I didn't have anything else to do. I was gonna live stream with another YouTuber, but it didn't work out so well. So I decided just to do it on my own. I don't remember your name specifically, but it's familiar. Yeah, I did have a clip. You're right. You're right. Boko, I do use an S-brick. I have an S-brick in the secret locomotive that I haven't posted anything about yet, except for that teaser video. What locomotive am I building? I'm going to be rebuilding my little Atlantic locomotive. It was in a horrific accident over the weekend, so just launched a piece across my desk accidentally. Oh well. So yeah, this is basically, there's not really much point to this live stream. I'm literally doing it just because like I like hyped myself up for a live stream on somebody else's channel, and then that didn't work out, so now I'm gonna do it here. So, you know, I don't know. There's not I don't really have much of a plan. It's probably not gonna be a very interesting live stream to watch, in all honesty. I'm not a very interesting person to watch. I hope I'm doing good. Thank you very much. I hope you're doing good as well. I appreciate that. Can't decide if you want to make scale trains or Lego trains. That is up to you. That is a question that you'll have to answer for yourself. I can tell you though that making Lego trains is a lot of fun. Oh, pronounced like Gilly. Okay, I get it. Makes more sense. What kind of battery? I'm building the Milwaukee Road. Oh, cool. It's always one that I've wanted to see done. Well, Ben Koifman did it several years ago. Ben Koifman did the 261 several years ago. It's on his. Sorry, guys. I'm getting over a sickness. So I apologize if I'm coughing a lot. Anyways, Ben Koifman did the 261 a couple years ago, several years ago actually, and it turned out pretty well. He used the rods on it. It's the same rods I've got on my Atlantic. He did that several years ago. It's pretty good. He has. I don't think I've seen another one done since. Kind of battery do I recommend? That's entirely up to you. It depends on what you want to get out of the locomotive. I've used Lego batteries and I've used not Lego batteries in some locomotives of mine. Usually I use a not Lego battery if I want to get a lot more power out of it. I know the L motors will take up to 12 volts. So you can, you know, pump. I'm currently using a 10.8 volt battery in one of mine. And I only have one, and I only have one connector that goes into power functions with it. So I've kind of been swapping it around with several of my locomotives, you know, giving it some trial runs, and it works really well. I do need to make sure though that when I do that I need to make sure that I use a V2 IR receiver or you know, like an S brick or something that's built to take the extra voltage. So you need to make sure that you consider that if you go with a custom battery option. Hey Rowan, Nice to see you on here. When am I getting started in the yellow belly? Good one. Um, I've gotten over people. So many people have mentioned the yellow belly to me now. It's kind of funny. Like I don't even care anymore. It's a old joke, but I appreciate you guys for remembering it. It is still kind of funny. Um, I've never been a huge Nerf gun person actually. To answer your question pretty bluntly. Um, you know where a custom mod's built in E2 with a 9-volt battery. You mean like a tank engine E2? I've wanted to do one of those for a while or something similar. There's a new it's a battery and a Bluetooth controller rolled into one. It's called the Boo brick. But um but being having the controller and the battery rolled together, I think it would make a very more compact way to build a tank locomotive. And I really want to try one out whenever I get the chance to. I think that'd be really cool. Just currently I don't really have the chance to. Do I have any of the DLC guns in World War II? It's an oddly specific question. I've never even told anybody that I play Call of Duty. I do play Call of Duty actually. Um, I haven't updated. I haven't even plugged in my PlayStation since Thanksgiving because um, my internet here at college is just not as good. It just doesn't, for whatever reason, just does not like to work with my PlayStation. So it's not even worth plugging in really. It's just that annoying. Um, if I go silent, by the way, I apologize in advance. It just means I'm playing a very interesting game of how the heck did I build this locomotive the first time. Do I like Halo? I've never been a Halo person, actually. I enjoy Call of Duty though. I usually get the new Call of Duties when they come out. I enjoy them. Just finding all these kind of parts that I have no idea how they went into my Atlantic the first time. My take on the Pennsy T1 class. I like that one. Sorry guys, hold on. Don't have an Xbox, I'm sad. It happens. I feel you. Guys, by the way, if you're that interested, um, in following my work, I have set up an Instagram account that is specific to my YouTube channel. I had been using my personal account, um, for Lego stuff, but I decided not to continue doing that. So I made another account, for my YouTube specifically that I can associate with my Lego stuff. So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @Emperor of the North. I was actually just gonna post on here that I was live, so you get everybody in my chat say hello. Oh hey Strasburg, good to see you made it out to my live stream. Glad you could join us. You are officially the 10th person watching, so that makes you pretty special. I appreciate that. Everybody say hi because you'll get featured on my Instagram story. I'll wait for the lag to go on. You guys are all gonna be famous. I have like less than 90 followers. Owen made it. Try this again. Boom. Let me just update this real quick, guys. I'm not super good at like stuff like this. I mean, I can run the social stuff for BMR. And that's kind of different, but Alright guys, thank you for that. I posted that to my story. You're all gonna be instantly famous now. I'm joking. um, Hi Richard, hi Chase, everybody else I mentioned. Uh, Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all the views. There's 11 people watching, and I did not expect that because I did not plan this live stream at all. Something about a Southern Crescent Limited. That's cool. That's been on my list that I've been watching since old 97. Man, that's a throwback video right there. I actually click on that video sometimes just to amuse myself. I go back and rewatch. It's never ceases to amuse me. That's a classic Glenn Holland classic video right there. I'm surprised it isn't my most viewed video on YouTube actually. Very surprising. Which one do I like more? And in Norfolk and Western and Union Pacific? That is an unfair question. I do not feel like answering that at all. As far as efficiency goes, I have to go with Norfolk and Western though. I can't make any argument that against Norfolk and Western really because they were literally the German sports car builders of the steam railroading era. They did so many things right with building their steam locomotives. It's just ridiculous. Um, I can't knock Norfolk and Western, but I can't knock Union Pacific either. Union Pacific Steam was certainly nothing to be messed around with. They knew what they were doing as well. How's the BMR loco going? It is going very well. We're almost done with it, I would say. We're on the home stretch. We were testing it this past weekend at the train show in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Very successful tests, by the way. It did, however, meet an unfortunate demise when a switch was thrown the wrong way. It was not my fault. Switch was thrown the wrong way. It was one of those stock Lego double crossovers where you can either set them. You have to set them so that the train's running in opposite direction. Trains can only run in opposite directions, so it's really dumb. So that a Penlug member was putting in the switch stands, or the yellow switch levers, and accidentally switched over right as the locomotive was coming down, and plowed right into Kale's Norfolk and Western train. Locked up the rods on it and actually cracked a gear inside the locomotive, which is very impressive because that is a lot of torque. Actually, I have a gear. Check this out. Cracked that gear right in pieces. It's awesome. So that's that story. What do I think about the Pennsy T1 Trust? I think that's cool. I would love to see him do it. I know there's a lot of, I know there at least has been controversy about like the fact that they want to go after the Mallard's record-breaking run with the 5550. But honestly, I don't see like what the big deal is. Like if they want to try and break the run, that's fine. Like that's cool. I mean, like I don't see why it like should have to. Like the people want to keep the Mallard with the record, and that's totally understandable and respectable. The Mallard and the Gresley A-class Pacifics in general were just phenomenal locomotives. They really were. But I don't see anything wrong with trying to beat the speed record, and I think that's totally a fine thing to do. Let's see. Is it a tender engine or tank engine? I can't necessarily answer that, but if you look at our photos, it should be a little obvious. Been watching since the documentary video. Oh yeah, that was funny. Both the documentary that I posted and the Wreck of Old 97, both of those I made for school projects. I was in the 8th grade when I did those. I did both of them over the course of a couple days, actually. Not both at the same time. Like they were different. They were separate projects. So I made them separately, but each individual video was made over the course of a couple days. Like Wreck of Old 97, I literally shot in 2 days after having come home from school each day, and I was really surprised because like I I hadn't used a whole bunch of animation like good or better animation techniques before then, and I was really surprised at how well Wreckable 97 turned out. And I mean, I aced the project. I aced both of those projects, so I can't complain. Do I have a college buddy? If you're asking if I have friends, yes, I have friends. I have several. I have several buddies here in college. Not a lot of them are with me right now. A lot of them have left for the semester or are elsewhere completing work-related assignments specific for engineering degrees. It's the way that things work for me right now. What's my favorite steam locomotive? Not going to answer that. That is proprietary, very secret. For reasons I am going to reveal it eventually, but right now is not the time. I've got a big plan for that. A big plan, biggest plan ever. Uh, project assignment in school. Oh, for the Wreckable 97, it was a media arts class where basically it was like the whole course was like, instead of like, how you have like your semesters at school split into like the first half of the year and the second half of the year, where like we changed the classes that you go to sometime in like January or something like that. Mine was broken up into trimesters. So it was media arts. It was like an art class and then something else. I don't remember exactly what. Media arts was the last. I just the way that my end of the rotation came out. I took media arts last during my 8th grade school year, and so um, the whole course was basically just make and edit videos. And the last two projects was a documentary that could be real or fake, and so I took it upon myself and I made one about my fictional railroad. And then the last one was just a freelance project, do whatever you want. A lot of people did music videos, but I was the only one who did. Well, obviously, I was the only one who did something like that. So that's the background information about that. I have always liked trains since I was about 2.5 years old. Just started talking about trains and all downhill from there. Um, what in the world? Rousing game of how in the world did I build this? You know, it's gonna be a long night. Camelback train, Nixon's rail service, passenger. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not too much on railroad history during those parts of the year, or those parts of the year, those times during America. Um, just not. Just I like the steam era. Pretty much it. Well, not it, but it's definitely my favorite. There are certain diesel locomotives that I'd like to build. I can't. There's a couple of them around there that I'd like to do eventually. Um, I had that 214-2. That's a funny locomotive. Have I ever shot pool? Yeah, I do. My granddad owns a pool table. Um, and I play on that sometimes whenever I'm down visiting him. That is a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. I am no longer convinced that I can rebuild this Atlantic in one night. There's a lot going on in here. Oh well. Um. Anyways, don't stay up too late. Yeah. I know the Atlantic pretty well. It's just this was a pretty bad hit. It is pretty bad indeed. Definitely one of the worst ones. Big leagues in pool. That's cool. Very cool indeed. I am nowhere near that good. I can I can play a good game here and there, but I'm not that good. I'm really not that great. Not a big pool player. I just know how to play and I enjoy it. It is a lot of fun. My brother and I are pretty competitive. We always play whenever we get down to visit my granddad. It is a lot of fun. I definitely enjoy it. Would I build a nickel plate 765 out of Lego? Definitely would. Just not on my current list. My my current list is pretty well defined for several years now. If I'm all serious, several years. It's gonna take me a long time to finish out the stuff that I want to do. It's also gonna take me a long time to finish out the stuff um that I need to do that I want to do with Brick Model Railroader. Kale and I have a lot going on. You're building a locomotive. You get to a piece like that came apart in a trunk, and just like, what in the world was I doing with that? Like, I have no idea where that could have gone. Maybe must be a much worse locomotive builder than I thought. uh, not gonna say my brother's name. It's not up to me to say that. It's up to him, and he's not here right now. My brother doesn't do the YouTube social media thing as like I do, so gonna respect that. That's the valve gear. Just go with it. Don't ask questions. Something like that. That's insanely relatable for train builder. Yeah, Owen, you're right. 765 has been done by Ed Chang, and he did do a very good job on it. He built 765. He built a tool car, and he built a nice string of Polar Express inspired passenger cars for it. It looks really good. He did all of his own lighting on the passenger cars too. They're all lit with full interiors. Really gorgeous 5-car train set. If you want to head over to his Flickr page and take a look. I can't currently link it. I'm busy, but you can find him on Flickr. Ed's a very good train builder. Knows what he's doing, that's for sure. What's my favorite train that I've made? Oh gosh, I don't know. I only actually, Owen, you're incorrect. I'd have to say it's definitely my 10-wheeler. My 10-wheeler is my 10-wheeler was obviously it was a locomotive featured in a lot of my older videos. If you look at it at the end of I put it in the end of the documentary video. My 10-wheeler, that is. There's a bit of a backstory there. So my 10-wheeler was obviously featured in documentary and Wreckable 97, obviously. Um, if you look at it at the end of the documentary video, it's actually got red driving wheels. And it's kind of funny because I believe I had the Toy Story train at the time. I still do. It's just got parted out. Toy Story train came with enough drive wheels to make a 6-couple driver locomotive, and they were all red. So, and I didn't have any black ones at the time, so I just threw the red ones on there and just be like, all right, I'll just, for the end of the documentary, I'll just show a going away shot of the 10-wheeler. Like, that'll be pretty cool. So I did that. And then I was going to film Wreckable 97. And I had ordered uh, the black train wheels from, I guess, Lego, I guess it was. I don't remember exactly. But I'd ordered from them, and I was really worried that I'd have to film Wreckable 97 with a driving with red driving wheels on my 10-wheeler, but they came just in time for me to swap them out and start filming. So that's pretty cool. Interesting story, I guess. Handrails on a 484. It depends on the locomotive. There's all kinds of different techniques that you can use. I apologize if I'm not interacting too much with the chat. I get preoccupied with this. I'm trying to remove the stickers that I put on it. I did a really bad job with the stickers when I built this initially. So removing them is a little bit of a pain, but it's all slowly starting to come back to me. For instance, I figured out where this neck bracket goes. Thank you guys for all coming out and watching this my live stream, by the way. I really appreciate it. Mark, I've seen your comment earlier, and I meant to reply to it earlier today. I got the custom switches that you've seen in my videos. I got from both Brick Tracks on Shapeways. Those you have to buy a little bit carefully because they are prototype switches. They are not. They have not been officially released to the public for sale, but you can go on and buy them from Shapeways. They are extremely expensive. But if you feel like you want to go on and purchase them, be my guest, be my absolute guest. I cannot knock the quality. The design is fantastic. I really enjoy using them. So I get them from there, and I've also got them from 40Bricks, and you can purchase those directly from their website, which is 40bricks.com. They have currently only the double crossover that you've seen in my video, and they have a right-hand single crossover, and they're both the same radius, and they get printed in sections based on their print table. So, but they both of those work very well. Like especially the 40Bricks ones, just because they were made and meant to be 3D printed. I was really surprised because I've never put just loads of faith into 3D printing technologies, but the 40Bricks guys, they did a really good job on them. So I can't knock the quality on from them. I would definitely recommend the 40Bricks crossovers. If you have the chance to purchase one, I recommend it. I did hear about Hunter Harrison passing away. It's very, very sad. I'm not too big into like currently what's going on in the railfan world, or modern freight world, I guess you could say. Probably should be a little bit better at it, but right now I'm just not. So I did hear about that though. So do I like the BNSF train? I'm assuming that you're talking about the BNSF train that Lego made. I do like that engine. I have one. Very nice. I like that. I do like that. Good. It's a good set. LDD. Love LDD. I use it for a lot of my locomotives. Probably not the best way to do it. For a locomotive especially, because when you're building a locomotive, you don't know um, how certain parts will fit together. Like for instance, how like you can't figure out like your drivetrain in LDD. You don't know if it's going to be sturdy or not or whatever. So I've sort of come to learn the hard way. My Atlantic is actually an example of this, but I've sort of come to learn the hard way that building a steam locomotive in LDD is not the greatest idea unless it's like a tender powered locomotive, because it makes it a little bit easier to get right. Mark, the website is called 4D Bricks. 4D Bricks. That's 4 Delta Bravo Romeo India X-ray. NATO phonetic alphabet for the win. I do have the Lego Santa Fe set. I love that locomotive as well. How did this fit on there? Classic game. I hate playing it though. I'm tired of Oh well. Hey Andy. Thanks for watching. Prepare your wallet. You're right. You're right. One of those times where I think I'm like, man, I'm really quiet right now. I should say something, but I don't have anything good to say. How many times has the Atlantic died? The Atlantic has never died. The Atlantic is like a mighty phoenix. It always comes back. I consider the Atlantic to be definitely one of my best locomotives. I had some trouble in the start getting the drive right, but in the end it was worth it. I had a lot of help, and I'm very grateful for that. Let's see. Emerald Knight, Blue Cargo Train, Lone Ranger trains. Those are not bad sets. The Emerald Knight was a great train. There were several issues with it, but none of those were incorrigible without a few small modifications. I love the Emerald Knight. I still have mine. Let's see. Andy, you're not incorrect. Might be a little bit worse because I'm the only one here right now. That'll change in the spring, but you know, right now is pretty something. So I'm seeing the entire top shelf of the tender just exploded. The rear decking, that is. Look, it even got so bad, one stud parts even flew off of it. That's crazy. Gilly, I guess I can do that. You have to comment or send me a reminder. I guess I can help you with that. Camelback, you can get the Emerald Knight on Bricklink if you feel like spending a little bit of money. Over there. Let's see. What else do I need to do? Safe to say, I have no idea what I'm doing. I apologize for going so quiet. I do apologize for that. I feel bad. I don't want to be. I don't mean to be quiet. It's just I'm trying to think. Like, um, the reason I'm looking over here is because I have When I wrecked my Atlantic, I kind of just threw it all in a box and said, "Oh, I'll just deal with it later," kind of like the first time. Came back after the Lebanon show, and it's like, now I'm not going to deal with this right now. So I waited, and so now I'm dealing with it. And I figured, this is a perfect time to push record. So that's why I'm live streaming. Oh, and here's my Atlantic's valve gear. Get your rods down. I'm not 100% happy with it. It works really well, but I use the thick versions of the rods of the connecting rods available on Ben's site. There's better parts that I can use to make it a little bit better. We'll see. Room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. Yeah, the valve gear isn't too fancy. I've done a lot more interesting valve gear, that's for sure. Valve gear does tend to cost a little bit though when you get from Ben, but it's definitely worth it, and I cannot knock it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Ben does good work. What do you mean, Andy? I mean, like, as far as being a college student goes? I don't own any 4.5 volt trains. Andy, that is something that I have. I've been working on that. How can you do that crosshead valve thing like Kale did on his tank engine? What do you mean? List of engines I plan to build, that is classified. Do you have a list though? It's a very long list and only gets bigger. College isn't that bad, Gilly. Can be sometimes, but on the whole. I mean, I'm a mechanical engineering student, so I can't say that I haven't had my fair share of essentially sleepless nights. Andy, I'm working on it, all right? Gosh, leave me alone. Sorry about that. Sorry again. Hold on, guys. Let me send a quick text message. All right. Let's see. Catching up. Do I have an old Lionel Train? I have one from the 70s. I got it at a train show several years ago when I lived in Massachusetts. It's just a simple little 242 thing. It's nothing special. I've never been to the Horseshoe Curve. I've lived in Pennsylvania for 6 years now. I've never been to the Horseshoe Curve. It's crazy. Would I ever want to help restore a steam locomotive if I got the opportunity? I definitely would love to do that. Would absolutely love to do that. I would really love to do, well, be a restoration assistant. It has sort of been a wish of mine to be something like a like a steam locomotive mechanic. I think that would be really cool. Um, not a whole lot of use for them anymore, but you know, a guy can dream, can he? Farthest I've been outside of Pennsylvania. Do layover flights count, Owen? Because if they do, I have an answer. If they don't, I have probably more interesting answer. See you, Owen. Working with the Kentucky Steam Heritage Association. That's really cool. It's very cool. Very cool indeed. Again, guys, I do apologize if I go silent for ages. What do you mean, no, Andy? Layover flights don't count? Oh, oh, hey, Brickmaniac. Good to see you. Glad you can make it out. Appreciate your watching. Layovers don't count. Didn't think they would. So I've been all over the place in my life. I've been in Tennessee, Missouri, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Virginia. They're all states that I've lived in. Been all over the place. Which I don't mind. It's a lot of fun actually. I enjoy seeing a lot of different places. As far as the farthest I've been outside of Pennsylvania, as far as like maybe a distance thing goes, it's probably Arkansas. I have some family down there, down in that region. Let's see. Have I seen The Last Jedi? I haven't seen it yet. Probably will in a couple weeks. I usually, my family and I usually go out and see a new movie around the holidays. It's usually the Star Wars. One of the Star Wars. It used to be The Hobbit when they were still bringing those out. Brick Maniac, it's going very well. Thanks for asking. Hope it's going well with you. I haven't heard from you in a while, so I don't hate McDonald's. It's just I prefer not to eat it as much as I can. If I got the chance to sacrifice my Lego Crusader to bring back the real one, probably would do that because I could just build another one. I could just build another Crusader. I want to build another Crusader anyways. It's on the long list. Associated building with 5 wide cars. What do you mean? Like 5 wide train cars, or that's pretty thin. Like 5 wide road cars. That I can understand. One sec, guys. I'm gonna look for something over here. Found it. Cool. 9V power functions. Power functions 100%. You can do a lot more with power functions that you could ever do with 9V, and I have no shame in saying that. Power functions is a far superior system to 9V. As annoying as infrared technology is, or can be,
Power functions is way better. By far.
On the plus side, though, there's a tender pretty much done again. This is insane, guys, by the way. I didn't plan this live stream, and I had 12, 13 people watching me. I appreciate that. It's means a lot to me to come and see people come out and enjoy me doing random stuff. It is appreciated. Yeah, Rod, I heard about that. I think they purchased the darn, what was it? It's the it's that it's a nickel plate Mikado that they have there under that. Um, that's pretty exciting news, really. That was very cool. I was pretty excited to hear that myself when I found out. Thanks, Strasburg. Dorm is good enough. It'll do. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. Nothing wrong with another NKP steam engine. And sure, there are other locomotives, but hey, they can do whatever they want, and getting another restored steam locomotive is pretty cool. I'm all for that. You know, no hate in the steam party. Here's my progress, by the way, guys. Chassis, tender, boiler. What if I could build any Lego train without limitations? I do that now. I try not to limit myself when I build. I usually want to produce as good of a model as I can, so it'll often mean just kind of throwing some of the rules out of the windows at some points. Makes the game a little bit more interesting. Without weakness and things. What do you mean weakness? Lit. By the way, guys, if you watched my vlog from Lebanon Train Show, you'll notice that I threw a random clip of Strasburg 31 in there, running on one of the back parts of the layout. That is Strasburger 01. It's his doing. He did a solid job on that locomotive, in case you guys are wondering. The shape of the Lehigh Valley Black Diamond would be really hard to do with Lego. You are correct, because I have thought about that one, and I have thought long and hard over that one. Just decided I do not want to tackle it yet. See if my light still works. It does. Awesome. What made me start building an 8 studs? I don't know. Actually, I do know. Just remembered. Um, there's an old Railbricks article, the Railbricks issue. It would have been, I believe it was the issue number 5 that Cale Liepart put out instructions for his H10 locomotive, the tender specifically. In issue 6, he put out directions for the chassis of it. And until then, I had only been building in 6 wide really, consistently that is. And so I'm like, he put out those instructions like, you know what, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do an 8 wide locomotive and see where it takes me. And I stuck with it ever since. I've been doing 8, 9. I've actually built a 6 wide locomotive for the trains contest on Rebricked actually this year, few weeks ago, a month or so ago actually. That was an interesting thing. ONN 152 would be pretty cool to do. eight wides, 8 studs, 10 feet. It's pretty much what we go off of. It's how we scale all of our stuff. Gives us a nice thing to adhere to. Would I want to build a Santa Fe Blue Goose? That's an interesting question. I had actually been really not wanting to build the Blue Goose for a long time, but I started to change my mind a little bit towards it after I watched a few videos of it, and I like it a little bit more than I used to. I would consider it more now than I would a while ago. It's a cool locomotive, cool train. I like the colors on it. Yeah, 6 wide's cool too. There's nothing wrong with that either. 7 wide master race. I knew Andy was going to come in there with that. Andy builds some insane diesels and 7 studs wide, guys. If you guys are interested in that, he has does a very good job on them. Colors for Blue Goose would be hard to get. You're probably not wrong. I can't picture it exactly in my head, but I don't think you're incorrect there. Let's see if I can put this boiler back on this chassis here. See what happens. Hopefully nothing explodes. Actually, I don't want to do that yet. I have to put the air tanks on. Close. Would I build the Challenger locomotive? I have definitely considered building a Challenger. Somewhat recently, actually, is what at that. Um, Nothing too high on the list currently, but it's an option that I haven't totally ruled out. It's something that I'd like to do. Cale Liepard and Nate Brill have done Challengers of their own, and that was just before I joined Penlug, so I totally missed out on that opportunity. So I never got to build my own Challenger. So I'd like to at some point. I definitely would like to at some point. Well, that's just not going to work. Another part. Excuse me one moment. Helps when you've got like Tupperwares of parts laying around your dorm room. I'm currently the only one who lives in my dorm room. So that's probably the only reason why it's as messy as it is right now. Will BMR release sets with all the pieces included? It's definitely something that we've thought about. Um, we've thought about that a lot actually, in a couple different ways. I'm not going to give out any real details yet. It's something we thought about though. We have some ideas. We do have some ideas. We have some very good ideas at that. Very good ideas with some very interesting things that could happen. There we go. Back in there. Back in the game. Not going to be able to test it. I don't have my remote, so I'll just have to hope for the best. But we're just about done. 460 is Kale's locomotive. I don't want to intrude on his territory. There's sort of a thing in with a lot of builders is that, you know, it sort of works like if you want to like call something, then it sort of works in that way. Like, you know, well, I call it Crusader. You know, it's my thing now. It sort of works like that, but not a really good way of putting it. But it generally the idea. Just, you know, we don't want to intrude on other people, on other builders' territory. Like, you know, it's just one of those things. I do like British engines. I have a great respect for a lot of uh, British locomotive designers. For example, I think the Gresley Pacifics were some of the finest Pacific engines ever built anywhere in the world. And I'll argue that against anybody. Let's see, what else do I need to do here? I don't think there's a whole lot. Try to remove the sticker residue over off of the other stuff. And the truck fell off. Great. Off to a great start. Got dibs on the yellow belly. Ha, take that, buddy boy. Oh man, I'm so jealous. Nice old joke, by the way. GWR Master Race. I have 6 people watching. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Sorry I'm a terrible streamer. I'm a lot more relaxed than a lot of other streamers that I watch. I don't even watch all that many live streams. Anyone know where you can find a blueprint scan of a Pennsy T1 SD? I would say go to prrdiagrams.com or .org or .net. I don't remember which one it is, but Google PRR diagrams. Should help. They have a lot of diagrams listed on there for just about anything on Pennsy related, except the S1. I've looked. How big are the grand curves? They're like R256, which is really big. Roundabout, give or take about 10 studs. I don't remember exactly the measurement, but R240 or 250 basically are big. R grand. Everybody just calls them grand curves. That's what they are. They're grand. You know what it is. What if I could get Lionel Legacy sounds in a Lego model? That'd be awesome. For now, Dali Electronics will have to do, and it does pretty well at that. I do like me some Dali systems. That is just a horrifically large gap between the locomotive and tender. Cannot have that. How do I put sound on my train? Just use put a Bluetooth speaker. I use Dali Electronics currently. There are other options becoming more and more available now, so I've yet to try them out. Dali Electronics works very well. They actually have a Lego interface that you can solder right into their soundboard, and that'll make your locomotive will be directly. You can plug it directly into a power function system and control it off of your IR remote, which is awesome. I love using that. I'm not sponsored by Dali. That'd be really cool. Not sponsored by anyone actually, but I do like the Dali system a lot. It's a great system. Works very well for what we're trying to do. Well thought out, well designed. Very.
On a relative scale, it's very plug and play compared to some of the other stuff that you'd have to do to get sound in a locomotive. But the Dowie system is pretty good, and I enjoy using it.
Yeah, PFX brick. I'm really hoping out. I'm really holding out for that and hoping for it too. There's a lot of stuff that you could do with the PFX brick because it's made by a Lego train builder with Lego trains in mind. So, you can do a lot more with it. As far as I'm concerned, the PFX brick is currently the best control system on the market for Lego trains. I've yet to be proven wrong. We're using that in the brick model railroader locomotive, and Kale and I have no complaints at all with the way the system works. Michael Gale and Jason Allman have done a fantastic job on it. Cannot stress that enough. They do such a good job on that hardware, and it's all manufactured by them. I learned recently they do all of the manufacturing on site, which is awesome. Like that's hardcore, which means I just destroyed the tender. Which means every PFX brick that you see is handmade, hand soldered. Michael Gale is indeed the man. I agree. Can I make instructions and a list of parts for a Lego train? I have actually done that. Actually, hold on. Boom. This is genuine Glen Holland model, 100%. It's the brick model railroader, American Car and Foundry Type 27 tank car, premium instruction kit. You can build 8,000 or 10,000 gallon tanks with 1, 2, or 3 domes in each version. This is an original model from myself. And this is the demonstrator kit. I designed it, so I got to hang on to the demonstrator. So I'm not going to take them out, but there's your instructions. There's a parts list in there. Full color instructions on how to build each one of those 6 different models. It's really cool. I have my original model over there, but it's in boxes, so I don't want to get it out at the moment. But for a loco, I don't know. It would have to be a loco that I design specifically to be sold. I often get attached to the locomotives that I build, for good reason. I build the stuff. I build what I like, and I often build stuff that I can put a story behind, like my Atlantic here. That kind of stuff that really makes the locomotive that much more for me. So it would have to be a locomotive that I, in a way of speaking, didn't as much care about. But I haven't completely ruled it out of the picture. It probably will be done under the brick model railroader name. Whenever I get around to it. Like I said, I have a bunch of other stuff that I got going on. All right, what's going on here? Yeah, John. Josh's Crusader is actually it's still very good. There's a lot of stuff that he did on it that I kind of wish I had done on mine. His is just older. He didn't have a lot of the resources available that I did when I made mine. And even now, 2 years later, my Crusader is showing its age a little bit, and almost due for an overhaul. But it's just now's not the time. One of these days, though, I'll get around to overhauling the Crusader. Welcome back, Owen. Just absolutely struggling to put my tender back together in one piece. Boom. One cotton belt Atlantic locomotive fixed. I don't know what these pieces are down here. It just means I built it more efficiently this time. Boom. We are good to go. I'm just going to keep live streaming. I'm enjoying answering you guys' questions. Nathan Pratt, I'm a little biased, but the tanker set is actually pretty sweet. Can you blame me? Probably. Glad I got this back together, though. I hate seeing one of my locomotives just absolutely nuked, so. See you, Boko. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Appreciate your questions. Good to have you around. Throw these extra parts away. Done. Wish I had enough space to put a detailed cab in this locomotive. That'd be really nice. Currently, it's about half of it is taken up by the L motor. Strength tested it with a hammer. No. I will not do that. One moment. Hey, Brandon. Thanks for watching. Oh, yeah, Andy. Kale was, I don't know if he mentioned, Kale said he had, I remember what it was, an idea for next year's train Olympics. He was telling me that, like a long jump would be pretty cool. What do you think about that? We could use the that 4D bricks railer that I showed in an article a couple weeks ago. We could use that as a ramp and just go for a long jump. What do you think about that? What do you mean by quotation marks one? Oh, he did mention it? That's funny. That'd be interesting to do, though. I wouldn't. I don't know what locomotive that I could put in. I could put in there. Probably my little 9-volt Thomas the Tank Engine. That'd be hysterical. I'd love to do that actually. It sounds awesome. Oh yeah, I imagine that. Um, it seemed like it turned out really well though. I loved the videos that Kale was showing me about his Mr. Rogers trolley just absolutely like wheeling, and like you had to put so much weight in it just to keep it down because you gave it like 24 volts or whatever it was. It's hardcore. If you watch the video, I think I put it on Brick Model Railroad's YouTube channel when I was editing it, but if you watch the video of Kale's trolley just getting absolutely demolished, you can see all the pennies in it fly out because he had to put a bunch of pennies in it to make it actually stay on the track, which is funny. The Olympics with Brick, well, that would be cool. I don't think I'll be able to make it though. NMRA though, probably not NMRA. NMRA is going to be a great weekend. One moment, guys. I'm back. Andy, they would probably think that it's for toys because we all we do is just play with toys. Like we're not actual train modelers, and like that's just. Oh, and the Olympics is the idea that Andy came up with. It was a basically just a all kinds of different things. Andy, you have to remind me what the events were that you came up with. There was a. You just have to remind me. I'm blanking right now. Nightmark, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Glad you got to come out and watch the stream. Oh yeah, weightlifting. That's a good event. Like a pole contest. There's tug of oh yeah, that's right. That's what they were. Tug of war, where Carol's A class just absolutely destroyed. Racing and demolition derby. That's hardcore. I need to I need to build a locomotive that I can trash and not feel too bad about and enter it in some of those events. Love to do that. Yeah, he did. His A class will pull anything. His A class will drag anything rather. Could probably drag Nate Bill's triplex around the Penlug layout too. The triplex hauls. Impressive what those locomotives can do. Build anything Penn Central owned, they were all trash. Good one. Oh, that you'll reprint anyone's decals for free that takes part in demolition derby. That's a good. Oh, that's a good bribe right there. Get free decals. Might have to consider that. Oh, and the demolition derby is kind of like a joust. You know, one track hopped up on 24 volts and two trains just battle it out. Interesting show. It's in it's on the BMR YouTube channel. I put it in one of those videos from Brick Fair, Virginia this year. Where I thought about building a NW Hudson, like Norfolk and Western Hudson. I'm not familiar with them. Oh, Andy, I think that's because it might be like a block thing, like you just can't put links in a chat. Oh well. Hold on. Yeah, Andy, is that on your channel? I think it looks like I think that's on your channel. There's a cool Lego train demolition action on Andy's channel. Use the Crusader. I'm assuming the front will work like a ramp. It's not that much. Not that much of a ramp. New York Central. Yeah, I'd consider building a New York Central Hudson. Haven't for a while, but Not saying I won't. Just not very high on the list at all. Yeah, guys, if you want to see the Lego train demolition action, go watch Andy's channel. It's pretty fun stuff. Apologize if I seem a lot more boring now. It's like 11:50 where I'm at. So I'm just reading and answering, talking with the chat now. So I might even not even post this as a video. Or I might. I don't know. Nope. I have no plan. Didn't even start the live stream with a plan. Oh my gosh, Kale's here. Kale, you missed me putting my Atlantic back together. Again. Nathan Pratt. Andy is Andrew Malman. He's in the chat. Should watch his videos. He has good videos. Again. Yeah, I put it back together. It's all better now. And I used like 6 less parts somehow. I rebolted more efficiently. Like a true Penlug engine. You really did miss the party though. I'm not doing a whole lot except for just interacting with the chat now, so. Oh yeah, speaking of, I do need Atlantic decals. Andy, I need some decals. I'll send you a message later. Like reassembling a laptop, pretty much. Like reassembling something that you know exactly where everything goes. Or generally where everything goes. Then you put it all back together and come to find out you forgot to replace the cooling fan. Most spectacular destruction. Yeah. Some of them were pretty spectacular, that is for sure. There's still 8 people watching. I started streaming an hour ago and it's almost midnight here on the East Coast. That's crazy. You guys are crazy. We are doing train jumping for distance. We gotta do that. That'll be an event. And make sure that we record more of it this year. I wasn't there, but we need to make sure that we do that. So you need to make like a whole hour-long video of just carnage. That'd be funny. Put wings on it. Oh my gosh. Kale built the train version of the General Lee. Wow. Great big orange locomotive. The number 1. That's a funny idea. See if I can make the live stream a little bit more interesting. No, I don't really. Oh well.
Them Duke boys have been railroaded into a trainload of trouble this time.
I can't do a good Waylon Jennings. John, your number 31 would actually be a pretty solid contestant for a long jump. It'll fly. Build the train for Back to the Future. Oh yeah, Sierra Railroad number 3. That'd be cool. What's a Penlug story? Let's see. Train version of Darth Vader. Oh yeah. 3-foot drop. That's what it's all about. If you don't see your locomotive take a plunge to the floor at least once, you're doing it wrong. It will fly, but it will do an Atlantic. Yeah, it'll explode. My Atlantic is the locomotive that's probably been destroyed the most. 2 times that I can remember in the smallest amount of time. The Atlantic's 2 years old now. Had the Atlantic 2 years. So yeah, I've wrecked my Atlantic twice. Rebuilt it twice, 3 times, because the first time I didn't build it right. My new K4 has gotten wrecked. My Crusader wrecked, just never on camera. Never on the layout either. It was just Kale, it's not a daily occurrence at a show. It's a one-time occurrence at a show. Enough of that. I haven't had any real bad wrecks with a lot of my other locomotives. My secret locomotive that I've got going that needs to have the drivetrain entirely ripped out and rebuilt. I haven't had any wrecks with that. It worked really well for all of about 4 minutes, just enough for me to get video of it. And then the gear slipped out of the drivetrain, so. Oh yeah, it's exactly what I was about to say, Kale, is about your K4s taking the plunge. Your K4s, that's funny. Everybody has wrecks, and just part of life. It does kind of still kind of sucks though. It's not fun watching your locomotive suspended in free fall, but it's a necessary part of life as a Lego train builder. You learn to just deal with it after a while. I mean, you're welcome, Andy. You deserve it. Um, Everybody in their life has to see their locomotive take a plunge to the floor. It's just the way it is. Just the way Lego trains work. You rebuild them, make them better. It's a circle of life. Uh, Kale, I already did a brick model railroad product placement, by the way. Some people were asking me if I had done. Um, some people were asking me if I've done instructions for one of my models, and I showed off the tank car. Oh, another funny story that never got publicized about Philly Brickfest 2016. Um, so I uploaded that vlog, and you guys could see that my Atlantic was. Well, I uploaded the Atlantic video of me rebuilding it. Buy BMR stuff. I uploaded my time lapse of rebuilding my Atlantic. So there's a funny story behind that. So that morning, it was like the Sunday morning of the Philly Brickfest, and so I came back in that morning, and my Atlantic was still on the table where I left it the night before, just in pieces, just. And so I get back in there, and like I was halfway through rebuilding it, and then Kale was telling me just like that wasn't the only locomotive of yours that fell off the table yesterday. I'm just like, really? He's like, yeah. So Kale proceeds to then tell me about my H10 consolidation locomotive. Uh, I don't think I've put a whole lot about that on YouTube. My H10 consolidation locomotive. Apparently, like the table got bumped or something like that. Like a box was set down on it, and it just rolled right back off the table, and nobody was watching it. And I think Kale turned around and was like, "Was that Glenn's?" And then somebody else went like, "Yeah." And it's like, well, he's gonna have a fun morning tomorrow. And this is after I had left for the day. So I came back and my H10 was a little bit broken apart. My Atlantic was still in pieces. It was a fun morning. Can I show you the consolidation? I cannot. Two reasons for that. One's because it's pretty much no longer exists. Two, because it's at home, as it not at college with me. Let me read some of the other comments here. Kale's talking about his K4 Rex. Owen's talking about his 1225 wrecked. Don't buy brass Don't say that about brass locomotives. Yeah, that would be terrible. Gilly, you're saying the same thing. I agree. That's why Legos. It's awesome. You can rebuild it. This video is sponsored by Brick Model Railroader. I wish. ATSF Hudson fell off a suspended piece of track on my small layout and flipped with a crane. That sounds spectacular. Yeah, Kel did put most of the H10 back together. Maybe it was just because my builds are just ridiculously simple, easy to figure out. I need to build a new consolidation now, so you know, not all bad. Really, Andy? Two tables? That's crazy. Oh my gosh. I love how this entire live stream is just turning into people talking about Rex. Awesome. The best live stream ever. I wish Lego would make better Lego trains. I wish Lego would make more trains, period. 4 inches, wow. I wish Lego would make better trains. Everybody's got these rumors about new train sets in 2018 following like some sort of like a 4 year or 3 year development cycle, and it's just coincidence. Like I'd love to have them bring out new trains in 2018, but I don't know. I definitely would want to build a Grizzly A class Pacific. Some of my favorite locomotives in the world. Some of my favorite British locomotives in the world, European locomotives, I should say. I have a very deep respect and understanding for the Grizzly A classes. A lot of that's from my engineering brain.
10-car freight train onto solid concrete. That's hardcore. "31 wrecked 3 times." Down the stairs. Brick Maniac drops his locomotive down the stairs. Oh my goodness. That's a tumble right there. Kale's a locomotive hitting the floor is bad, but I once watched a guy in an HO modular group drop a whole module onto the floor, tearing down after a show. It had a really awesome cable stayed. Bridge was destroyed. Oh, that's terrible. That's real bad. Oh, that's worse than a locomotive, I would say. That's real bad right there. Man. What is time? Wrecked my 10-wheeler a good couple times. There was one show that I used to do Greenberg shows by myself, display at them, that is, back when I lived in Massachusetts. And this is obviously before my Penlug days. This is like pre 2011. Um, I did a couple shows while I was up there. One of the years they had me in the front, kind of like the way that you'd walk in. It was like kind of like an entry hall and a little bit of stairs, and then you'd have some layouts. And so they had me kind of right up the stairs and off to the right a little bit. And I was running my 10-wheeler with a good sized freight train on I guess would have been 9 volt at that point. I don't remember, but I had it cranked because I was trying to get the train moving, and I wasn't using magnets like neodymium magnets at the time, so the coupling snapped and just ran straight off the straightaway and plowed right off the edge of the table. Man, it was traumatizing. Re-release the Emerald Knight. There's a campaign going around for that now. Apparently, it's funny. Tripped onto a Lionel Union Pacific. These stories are great, by the way. I'm enjoying reading all of them. It's really funny. Not at all where I'd expect this live stream to go, but I'm enjoying it. Hope you guys are too. Lathan sells it. Yeah, that's right, Andy. Well, we don't buy them. Just 11 people watching and it's after midnight. This is crazy. You guys are as crazy as I am. Well, I know Kale's as crazy as I am. Lathan makes really good fire starter. New Pacific boxcar, gotcha. I never knew about that one. Kale, the E6. What version are you on now, Kale? I forget. I think you're on 4. Are you on 4? I don't remember. Correct boiler size and snot. I don't want to fight for boiler size for Porter. Let's see. You could use a you'll probably want to do something like oh, see Andy. Thanks for watching. Glad you got to hang out for a while. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Still on 3, need to start 4. Yeah. Version 4 will come around soon enough. We have a lot of other stuff that we need to do though. You're talking about that today. Chase, I would recommend taking a look at go to Kale's Flickr page and there's some photos in there about how to build a cheese slope boiler.
which you can just take the cheese slopes off and replace with the curved slopes. Like I had one out. I don't know where it went. You can replace the cheese slopes with something like this curved slope. These kind of parts works pretty well. For a 484, it'll probably work very well. Yeah, you have to reassemble version 2. It's for the archives. Don't know if Gilly, you're bringing up this Kale's Western Maryland curse. Oh gosh. No problem, Chase. I'm happy to help. Hopefully that'll work for you. And let me know if it does, and I can try and help out some more. Western Maryland curse. Kill Laban. You guys are hysterical. Yeah, Kale, you're smarter now than you were then. You have all the techniques that you need to build the better Western Maryland engine. Curse of the Western Maryland sounds like a campfire story. Western Maryland 0660. Interesting. I don't remember having seen a picture of them. It's 12 people. That's crazy. City of Truro would be a cool locomotive. Andrew Harvey's got one of those. He's done. It's the only real one that I can remember having seen. Andrew Harvey's model. It's a pretty good model. 9 volt and just very good techniques. It's a bit dated now though. I'm sure somebody could build a newer model with some even better techniques. There's a lot more now that there was when um, Andrew built his. Still not a bad locomotive though. Pretty sure every Western Maryland locomotive, except for the BL2, and every Maryland and Pennsylvania locomotive those are all on your list, and then some. Nathan Pratt, I don't know what that is. I guess not. Going to 10, how much does school get in the way of later trains? Strasburg, to answer your question, I give that 100. Easiest question of my life. Definite 100. I'm, of course, joking. I keep everything in its place. It's just, I wish I could build trains a lot more often than I currently do. School's important too, especially being in college. It's just one of those things. I'm grabbing my tank car and my flat car, by the way. I'll be back in a moment. Oh yeah, that was the. See you later, Brick Maniac. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you got to come out. Glad to hear from you as well. I do want to build that CF7. Darn it, a missing part. Hold on. There it is. I definitely want to build that Mon Pa CF7. Kale's talking about a diesel locomotive. I believe it's former Santa Fe. There's a couple of CF7s that are lettered. Well, they're currently York Rail, but they have been lettered for Maryland and Pennsylvania, Mon Pa. And they service the track that runs right behind College. So I'd really love to build one of them, or both of them. I mean, they're the same locomotive, just different numbers. Diesels are a lot more simpler of a build than a steam locomotive is in the first place. So, no, easy. Oh, cool. See, I've got my cotton belt flat car, courtesy of Brick Model Railroader. All right, Nathan Pratt, I will. Thank you. I got my flat car, cotton belt flat car to match my Atlantic, and my United States Army 10,000 gallon single dome tank car. Also, technically not courtesy of Brick Model Railroader, but the trucks are. When I built my original model, I had the old lubricated tube method of building trucks on them, and then got some stuff from Brick Model Railroader. AKA Kale. CF7s were EMD F7s rebuilt by Santa Fe. Interesting. I did not know that. Makes my research job a little bit easier. Yeah, I definitely want to do one of them one day. It's on the long list. As I was talking about earlier, is the Brick Model Railroader Premium Instructions Kit. This is one of the models that you can buy the instructions for. The one that I made. Kale's designs versus my designs he outnumbers me 3-1, but you know, I'm holding my own with the tank car. It's a great little tank car. I like it a lot. It's got very versatile. You can do a lot with them. A lot of different 6 different models in one. Instructions for 6 models in one. Brandon, you get them at your own pace. You can't go wrong though. I'm biased, but they're good cars. You'd enjoy having them. Flat car is just cool. I like a flat car. Good flat car. The decals turned out very well. Andrew Malman, he was in the chat earlier. He does our decals for us. Does a very good job at them too. I really enjoy having decals on my cars. I don't on most of the cars that I've ever built haven't gotten decals. A lot of the locomotives I've ever built too haven't gotten decals. That's right. The tank cars sold out the fastest on the original release. We sold out in about a bit over 9 hours. It's pretty something. It's crazy. There are more for sale though currently. We restocked on the first week of this month, and we have more for sale on brickmodelrotor.com in case you're interested in checking them out. We have tank cars, hoppers, and flat cars. We don't have any box cars right now, but we're planning to do some more of them in the coming year. Very soon in the coming year, I would say as well. It's a plan, anyways. Best laid plans.
Yeah, I had to sign Kale's kit. He asked me. Couldn't resist. See, the battery fired me. Ooh, I might have to cut this live stream off very soon. I'm getting kind of tired. Probably cut it out in a few minutes. If you have any more last minute questions, ask them now. Cut it off very soon. Very tired. Gotta get up tomorrow. Kale and I are gonna be working on the brick model railroad locomotive tomorrow. Then need energy for that. Thank you guys all for watching, though. By the way, it's very awesome that you guys all came out and supported the stream, hang out for a while, talk about some Lego train wrecks and stuff like that. You're right, Kale. I'll have to say that for a different live stream, though. That's a crazy story. Oh, and I can't keep live streaming, man. I gotta go to bed. You're in a different time zone. It's like midnight 20 here. John, you're very welcome for doing the stream. I was more than happy to, even though I did not at all plan it when I woke up this morning. Um, yeah, it was a fun stream. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys all for watching. I do like ice cream. Love ice cream. Thank you guys all very much for watching. It's very awesome to see all you guys come out and watch me do random stuff on a live stream. Started out with rebuilding my Atlantic, and then it just started interacting with chat. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it, guys. Can't make up my mind right now whether I'll leave this as a video on my channel. I don't know. I'll leave that for tomorrow to figure out. Um, if I do, it'll be up so you guys can go back and watch it. It might not be as interesting then, but we'll see. So, but thank you guys very much for watching. I'm going to cut it off and go to bed because I'm extremely tired. But this is Glenn Holland, StreamlinedBricks. Thank you very much for watching this live stream. I'll have to do it again sometime, and I will talk to you all later. Thank you for watching. Good night.